I was able to glorify that, you know, and like, yeah, you know, so very ignorant, very ignorant. But throughout all of that, you know, I knew I could do better. I knew there was a better way, because I would see people every day doing better, having money, maintaining homes. I just wasn't able to do it, and you know, I became comfortable with the way I was living, because I didn't think, you know, that good life was for me anymore. So it was just a horrible way to live. It was just horrible. It was just, I was very desperate, you know, but I just didn't know how to, like, pull myself out of that hopelessness and that helplessness.
Just tell me how it was at that point that you ended up actually getting help.
I remember I was homeless and I finally got an apartment, and I was living in one of those apartments in Yonkers, New York, and it was, they call it the West Hab Apartments. And I remember it was a young lady that lived in the building, that she was a single mother, and she always told me that I reminded her of her mom, and apparently her mom had died from active addiction. And she obviously remembered me. You remind me of your mom, and we became very close. And she was much younger than me, and we became very close. And we would always talk. And she lived there for a long time, and I would babysit for her sometimes when I was in the right state of mind to do so. And one day she told me that she was leaving, and she said she was going to move to Albany. I asked her, why Albany? She said, I just want to get from Yonkers. I just want to get away from here. And she had prepared herself for school, made the connection up here to go to school and everything. And finally, she did make that move. By then, I had moved into my own apartment, and my progression, my addiction was still controlling me. And I moved into this apartment, and it was a very nice apartment, and my son was with me, and my daughter was living somewhere else. And I just couldn't stop using. I tried school, I tried work, I tried going back to school, going back to work. I worked for the County of Westchester for many years, and I lost my job as a result of my using. And I tried going back. They wanted me back, but I just could not do it. I just could not stop long enough to show up for work daily. At that point, I wasn't paying the rent in the apartment, and that time came. It was time to leave the apartment. And in utter desperation, I happened to call, because I had nowhere else. I had burnt bridges. I had nowhere else. And I called this young lady that had moved to Albany, because I had a brilliant idea that I was going to leave here, leave everything behind, go to Albany, start all over. Nobody knows me. And I had asked my son's grandmother, can he hold on to her? But I became desperate because it was time to leave the apartment. So that was one of the things that made me, yes, I'm going to do, you know, all the right things. And I came to Albany. She helped me. She said, I'm going to sign you up for school, because I'm going to sign you up for school. So my whole quest was to come up to Albany, go to school, get a good job, start this, and I would never drink, you know, and all that stuff. I'm not going to do the things that I do here, not understanding addiction at all. And I left Yonkers in October of 1995, and I came up to Albany. I stayed with the young lady from Yonkers, and I stayed there for a while. And I was on unemployment, at that time. So when I came to Albany, I had no real money. So I was pretty much living off of my girlfriend until my unemployment got transferred. And I did well up here for 2 weeks.